Hey, if you've ever wondered what's better, paid traffic or free traffic, and which one you should focus on with your online business, stick around and watch today's video through until the very end, as I'm about to break down the pros and cons of paid traffic versus free traffic, and of course, which sources I believe you should use when you're first getting started. With that said, if this is your first video, my name is Misha Wilson, and over the course of the last few years, I've now done over $25 million in total sales online. I've used a lot of paid traffic sources, I've used a lot of free traffic sources, and I want to talk about the pros and cons so that you know where you should start. As always, if you get value out of today's video, please let me know in the comments section below what your biggest takeaway is. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon notification button so that you're notified when I do more videos just like this. With that said, let's go ahead and dive right in.
Welcome to the Misha Wilson Show, where we show you how to create massive success online so you can enjoy the lifestyle of your wildest dreams.
All right, so firstly, what I want to talk about here is really the difference between, of course, paid and free, and a common misconception around, paid, free, what is actually free, etc., when it comes to traffic generation. All right, now in case you're brand new and you don't even know what traffic is, I'm very simply talking about website visitors. All right, so in the online marketing world, traffic means website visitors. I'm not talking about the type of traffic that you sit in when you drive to work. All right, so with that said, firstly, the big misconception when it comes to the two. A lot of people, when they're first getting started in the online space, they look at paid versus free. A lot of people, when they're first getting started, they don't have a bunch of money to get started with, and therefore, naturally, they feel like they should go down the route of free traffic generation. All right, and really the misconception that I want to talk about here is the idea or the notion, the concept of any traffic being free traffic. So the truth of the matter is there is no such thing as free traffic. All right, there is traffic that will cost you one thing or another. And so with free traffic, you will spend your time, you will spend your effort, you will spend your energy in order to get free traffic to your website. Most free traffic sources have to do with creating YouTube content like this, writing a ridiculous number of blog posts, creating a ridiculous number of social media posts, creating 8,000 TikTok videos so that someone ultimately gets to your website, clicks your links, opts into your lists, and buys your products or services. All right, now, if you're brand new to the business world, this might kind of be a new concept to you, but if you've been around for a while, this should not. But ultimately, your time has value. And the less time you have, all right, the more money you make and the less time you have, the more valuable your time is. And what happens is people tend to not realize that until they get to a point where ultimately they're making money and their time has a real world value associated with it. The truth of the matter is, when you're brand new, your time has value too, because if you're not focusing on one thing, or if you are focusing on one thing, you're not focusing on another thing. When you are focusing on one thing, you could be focusing on another thing. And so whenever you're focusing your time, your effort, your energy on anything, there is always a cost based on the fact that you are choosing to focus on one thing versus the other. And if you're focusing on the wrong thing, you're going to make less progress than if you focus on the right thing. All right, so firstly, understand, truthfully, there is no such thing as free traffic. It is a fallacy, it is a myth, and at the end of the day, you're always going to pay for traffic. You're either going to pay for it in the form of your time or your money. All right, now with that said, that obviously leads to, look, what's your situation, right? So if you have no money, if you have zero startup capital, and if you're brand new, you don't have an option. You need to focus on free traffic. Choose one source of free traffic, learn that one source of free traffic, dial that one source of free traffic in, focus all of your time, effort, energy, and resources on figuring out that one source of free traffic, and then put all of your energy into that and grow it to the point where you then have cash flow. Then you can take that cash flow and reinvest it into paid traffic so that you can scale. All right, now if you're in a different boat, if let's say you have some cash flow, if you have some money sitting around, if you have some funds that you can sink into your business, that's where the topic of paid traffic comes up. All right, what's really nice about paid traffic, and what I love about paid traffic, is it takes less time. All right, so again, your time is your single most valuable asset. Whether you realize it or not, it absolutely is. So it takes less of your single most valuable asset. You can always make money back. Let's say you lose some money, let's say you blow some money, let's say you have an ad that doesn't work out the way you want it to, you can always make that back. Once you spend an hour of your time, it is gone forever. So just from a simple supply and demand perspective, money is less valuable than time. So again, it takes less time, and secondly, it is infinitely more scalable. Once you figure out how to get paid traffic, once you figure out how to place an ad on Facebook or an ad on YouTube or a solo ad, whatever it might be, and essentially you can spend $1 over here and you can make back $2 over here. If you're spending, let's say $50 over here, making back $100 over here with paid traffic, what you can do is, let's say with Facebook, you got to scale up slowly, but over the course of a week, you can go from $50 a day to $100 a day and be making $200 a day back, right? And then next week goes by, now you're spending $200 a day to make back $400 a day, and so on and so forth. Where with free traffic, I don't know about you, but I think I have 24 hours a day. I got 7 days a week. I got 365 days in a year. And unless you're the one person on planet Earth that's different for, it can be really hard to scale free traffic. Again, we all have the exact same amount of hours in the day. And let's say you're spending 2 hours per day on creating YouTube videos, doing keyword research, creating descriptions that are keyword friendly and based, etc. All the things that go in to getting you free traffic. If you're spending 2 hours a day and you start to get to, let's say, 5,000 a month, and then you want to get to 10,000 a month, well, maybe it'll happen if you spend 4 hours a day. We don't really know, right? Do you have the 4 hours a day to actually spend, firstly? And then also, when we spend those 4 hours a day, we might not get the same output from just more input, all right? Your videos might start doing worse over the course of a period of time, which can also happen in paid, but also you have much more control over it. So ultimately, the reason why I tend to, especially when people, when they're first getting started, why I tend to lean towards paid traffic is A, it's infinitely more scalable. Once you figure it out, you can scale very quickly. You can get to your goals much more quickly. You can hit your results faster. And ultimately, I'm all about speed. Money loves speed. And then secondly, it's much more controllable and it takes less time. All right. Now, with that said, here's the honest answer for everyone watching thinking, all right, which one should I use? The truth of the matter is that long term, if you want to build a business that is not only profitable, but also sustainable, you should use both. All right. So, I have had different periods of time in my journey where I've had Facebook ad accounts go down. I've had YouTube ad accounts go down. I've lost email lists. I've had merchant accounts go down even at certain times, right? Now, free traffic would not have necessarily solved my merchant account issue when that went down. But what I will say is there have been quite a few times in my journey where I've had all of my eggs in the paid traffic game and something has happened, all right? The most recent one that I'm kind of reminded of is the iOS update, right? The iOS update happened. Yes, we figured out how to run ads. We got our conversion API set up, which is a foreign language if you don't know what it is. Again, don't worry about it. The fact of the matter is that something changed in the paid game. And because I didn't have enough free traffic pouring in, my business slowed down for a little period of time, right? Now we were able to pivot, change very quickly, get stuff back up and start going again. But at the same time, what's ultimately best is to have both. Now, that said, you can't necessarily do everything when you're first getting started. Often we kind of get started with very limited time and resources to invest. My recommendation when you're first getting started is to focus mainly on paid traffic. If you have some extra time, effort, energy, start with paid traffic or free traffic as well. Choose a free traffic source that grows in power over time, something like YouTube as an example. This YouTube video will get, hundreds of views today. And then as my YouTube channel keeps growing, this video will continue to do better and better and better over time. So make sure you choose something that will give you that compounding effect over time when it comes to free traffic. Dial in a paid traffic source, and then principally focus on one traffic source at a time, all right, when it comes to paid or free. If you're gonna focus on paid traffic, don't do solo ads, Facebook ads, YouTube ads, Twitter ads, everything between, LinkedIn ads at the same time, trying to figure out what's best. Focus on one source of traffic, dial in that one source of traffic, then after you dial in that one source of traffic, move on to the next. With that said, I hope you got a ton of value out of today's video. If you did, as always, please let me know in the comments section below what your biggest takeaway was. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon notification button so that you get notified when I do more videos just like this.